So if you guys remember back in December of 2024, Star Wars Hunters released its very first PC playtest. And this is gameplay from that playtest that I experienced. And a lot of people, participated in this PC playtest and walked away from it genuinely impressed. I think this playtest was tons of fun, and it showed the potential for Star Wars Hunters, especially at 60 frames per second with responsive controls. Because up until that playtest, we had only really gotten to experience Star Wars Hunters either on the mobile devices or on the Nintendo Switch. And in my opinion, those were not the best platforms for Star Wars Hunters. The PC version was a night and day difference. And I was genuinely excited for the future of Star Wars Hunters after December's PC playtest. So I walked away from that. Now, I did give feedback on it. On social media, I told the developers I would love to see iconic heroes like Darth Vader, like Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan in the game. I felt like this game really needed those iconic heroes in order to draw more people into this game because, as we all know, this game really wasn't that popular. A lot of people weren't talking about it, even with that PC playtest. So I was out there on social media really trying to encourage the developers, really giving them ideas and telling them, hey, keep going with this game. I think it has massive potential. I think if you got Vader in there and all these iconic heroes in there, people would start showing up to this game. Well, fast forward to January, which was supposed to be the PC soft launch, and that was completely delayed without any date of when that would happen. So naturally, I thought to myself, okay, they're going to probably delay it a month, but then there was no word about the PC soft launch or early access at that point. Now we fast forward to recently, and we found out that yes, the game has unfortunately been canceled. And for me personally, this is devastating news. I know to some of you, you probably don't even care, but I sit here and I'm telling you guys, I think you would have cared about this game a lot more if they would have really just listened and added iconic heroes into the game. Heroes that we all love and know from the Star Wars universe. I think a lot of you would have hopped on board and would have loved to play this game, especially if they would have combined those iconic heroes with a PC and console launch. And I go back to that December PC playtest that I took part in, which again, you can see gameplay of it right here where I'm playing with Reeve, and I genuinely had a blast with that PC playtest. I was having fun. I loved it. I felt like the heroes were pretty well balanced. The frame rates were running perfectly. There were no stutters, no networking issues. I had no issues at all. So I was actually quite impressed that this Star Wars game was running perfectly. And they go and cancel it. It's kind of, surprising to me that Lucasfilm would make this decision. So it makes you wonder, why? Why would they cancel this? Now, I know many of you are going to say, well, it's because nobody was playing this game, and that's probably true. But I still feel like if they would have brought in iconic heroes, they could have fixed that problem and brought in a lot more players. But secondly, I do wonder if there's another multiplayer game in the pipeline that Lucasfilm knows about, and they're just not telling us just yet. Now, if that's the case, they better have something at Star Wars Celebration, or fans are going to be even more impatient than before. The good news, though, is we do have Bit Reactor's strategy game. It's going to be a turn-based strategy game that will be revealed at Star Wars Celebration. But my guess is, for many of you who want a replacement for Battlefront 2's multiplayer, this is not going to really whet your appetite. It's not going to be enough for you. So I hope that they come with the goods at Star Wars Celebration and give us a multiplayer Star Wars reveal. And with that said, for the record, I am super excited for Bit Reactor's turn-based strategy game. I cannot wait for that. But again, for those of us who still want a multiplayer Star Wars game, I don't think it's going to be enough to really replace Battlefront 2 at all. So where does that leave us now? Some people will say, hey, Ryan, it's probably the Star Wars Hunters team fault that it got canceled. And I disagree with that completely. I think it's on Lucasfilm at this point because they are the ones who greenlit this project. They were the ones who said, hey, put in heroes that people don't even know about. Don't put in any iconic heroes like Vader or Ahsoka or any of them. Go ahead and put in really obscure heroes that nobody even knows about. Again, Lucasfilm greenlit this project, so it's on them that this got canceled. They're not going to play that game of, oh, it's not our fault. It's all Zynga Star Wars' fault, right? Because when I played the PC playtest of this game, the netcode ran perfect. I had no crashes. The frame rate was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. There was no issues. And I thought, wow, this PC playtest went well. I think Lucasfilm is going to be really impressed with this one because it's actually working. So I'm just sitting here trying to think of the thought process behind canceling this one. And, you know, I know I'm going to hear comments from you guys saying, hey, Ryan, this game sucked. Nobody played it. Get over it, right? I get that. I understand. But on the other hand, I'm one of the ones that walked away from the PC playtest absolutely loving this game. So, with that said, let me know what you think about the cancellation. Do you think there is a multiplayer game in the pipeline that will replace this game? Do you think that's what could be happening? I'm not going to speculate on that. I'm going to assume that there is no multiplayer game in the pipeline at all. And if there is one, it will take years and years for us to see it. And then the potential for that game being canceled is very high because any Star Wars game has a high potential of that happening. You guys have been here with me for a while now. You know how it goes. Whenever a Star Wars game is announced, everyone grumbles and goes, oh, this one will probably be canceled. Nobody believes that the game will actually see the light of day. Anyways, guys, hopefully someday we all end up happy, but who knows if that's ever going to happen. And as you've noticed, I haven't really added Star Wars back into my name here on YouTube, and for good reason. I'm still keeping it The HQ because I'm planning on adding more variety of games to this channel. And honestly, Lucasfilm has forced my hand, right? I mean, I didn't want to remove Star Wars from my name, but since Lucasfilm can't get their act together, I've decided to keep it just The HQ for now. So let me know what other games you want to see me report on this channel. And again, I am still looking forward to Bit Reactor's strategy game. I love strategy games, so I'm looking forward to that. But let me know, what other games do you want to see on the channel? I will see you all later. Take care and take it easy.